In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can be doing absolutely everything right. You can be eating clean, you can be eating healthy, you can be counting your calories, and you can be exercising, and still you're not losing weight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Trina Rise. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I specialize in helping men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s lose belly fat and keep it off for good. So I'm going to get started. We're going to be talking about doing everything right and still not getting results, okay? And how you can change that. So let me just share my screen. There we go. Okay, so you're eating healthy and working out. Why aren't you losing weight? Okay, the myth really is that if you want to lose weight as a man over 40, all you have to do is just eat healthier, eat less, and exercise more. I'm sure that all of you have been told this. Maybe, if you've been told this before, put a one in the comments. Let me know in the comments if that's happened to you, because this is just a very, very common thing that people are told by their doctor, by maybe their nutritionist or dietitian, or their weight loss program. You just got to keep your calories under 1800. You just got to hit the gym and you're going to lose weight. Okay, but really it is a myth. I work with people all the time who are doing these things and they're not getting results. So the reality is that eating less and exercising more does not fix the four things that are keeping your weight stuck if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what are the four things keeping my weight stuck? That's what we're going to talk about first. The four major roadblocks keeping your body in fat storage mode. Okay? There are four things, and these are the four things. You can have all of these issues, you can have a couple of them, maybe you only have one of them. But if you have any of them, you are going to be stuck in fat storage mode. You're not going to be able to get your belly fat moving. The first one is muscle mass. So if you've been yo-yo dieting for many years, if you've lost weight, you've gained it back, you've dieted, you've lost weight, gained it back, and the cycle continues just on a yo-yo with weight loss and weight gain for a long time, your muscle mass is not going to be what it should be. Because when you lose weight on a calorie restricted diet, you don't just lose fat, you also lose muscle. And then if you gain weight back after that, you're going to be gaining mostly fat back. Okay, so your muscle mass keeps getting lower, your fat mass keeps getting higher, and then it makes it really, really hard for you to lose weight. It's keeping your weight stuck. The next thing is hormones. Most people have issues with hormones. If you're carrying extra belly fat, you've got lower levels of testosterone than you want. You have higher levels of estrogen. You probably have some insulin resistance. So high levels of insulin, your hunger hormones can be screwed up. There are tons of hormones, okay? And they need to be fixed. They need to be balanced in order to get your weight moving. The third thing is metabolism. If you have messed up hormones and your muscle mass is messed up and you've been dieting on and off for years and years and years, or you've been restricting calories, your metabolism is screwed up. Okay. You've got a screwed up metabolism. If you're trying everything, you're doing everything right, and the weight will not move, it means that there's something going on with your metabolism. Your metabolism's not broken. It can be fixed. You can rev it up again, but it's probably slow. It's probably not working the way it should be if you can't get the weight moving and you're doing everything right. And the fourth thing is inflammation. And the reality is that you can be restricting calories, you can be eating less calories, you can be exercising a lot, but you still can be causing your body inflammation by the food choices you're making, and also sometimes by doing more exercise than you should. If you're restricting calories, you're putting your body under stress. If you're exercising all the time while you're restricting calories, you're putting your body under stress, and that can cause inflammation. So those are the four things that are keeping your weight stuck. The solution really is, instead of eating less or exercising more, you need to learn how to eat right. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. You just need to learn how to eat right. And the good news is that to eat right, you do not need to starve yourself. You do not need to severely restrict your calories. You just need to learn how to eat strategically. And I mean, you can look at this dinner plate. This is a regular size dinner plate. This is my dinner plate. This is what I eat for dinner or for lunch on a normal day. I'm 5'8", I'm about 145 pounds, soaking wet. And, I eat a good amount of food. And you also need to eat a good amount of food to lose weight and to have lots of energy and to feel great. Okay. So you don't need to starve yourself to lose weight. That's a huge misconception. What you do need to do is combine protein, fat, fiber, and carbs at every single meal. And actually, let me go back to this plate. You can see that I've done that here. I have vegetables. Okay, those are healthy carbs. I've got a bit of starch, a few potatoes, and I have protein. So combining all of these things together will create balance and will keep you full longer and will get your body into fat burning mode, which is what you need to do. Okay. That also will make sure that your muscle mass is okay. That is going to balance your hormones. It's going to reduce inflammation, and it's also going to fire up your metabolism. Okay, and the timing factor is important as well. Eating the right foods at the right time, it's important. It builds muscle, it stabilizes blood sugar, prevents cravings, and keeps fat burning hormones optimized. So let's talk about why you're doing everything right, and the fact that the scale won't move. Like, why is this happening? So if you have belly fat, you have something called insulin resistance. And if you do not fix insulin resistance, you will not lose weight. And I'll explain a little bit more about insulin resistance in a minute. But it's just really important to understand that if you are carrying around this extra belly fat, you have some level of insulin resistance and you got to fix it. Okay, guys, if you do not fix it, you're not going to get that weight loss that you want. All right, counting calories and exercising more will not fix insulin resistance. It it just won't. Exercise is going to help. Um, Eating healthy food is going to help. But if you don't know how to eat right, you're not going to be able to fix insulin resistance. And if you can't fix insulin resistance, you're not going to be able to lose that belly fat and keep it off. Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about one of my clients, Jason. Jason is 52. He goes to the gym every single day. Like, he works out hard. If you see him in a Zoom, or if you watch the video that I posted, the interview with him, he's pretty jacked. He works out all the time. He goes surfing on the weekend. He lives in New Zealand, so he can do that. He's got a very active job. He's eating clean. And before he started working with me, his belly fat would not budge. Okay, which makes pretty much no sense if you believe that myth that you can just eat well and exercise and you're going to lose weight. So he had about 25 pounds or 12 and a half kilos of belly fat that he could not get rid of. So what he really needed to learn was what optimal nutrition was for his body and for his lifestyle. But more importantly, he had to fix insulin resistance. So he needed to learn to eat right. And part of that was learning how much food he needed to support this really active life that he had, which was a lot more than he thought. All right. And he learned how to eat right, and the weight started to fall off. Okay. And also during the program, while he was working with me, he hurt his knee. And for a few weeks, almost a month, he was laid up. He still could lose weight, even though he had reduced mobility. Okay. So part of what I do with people is what I do with my clients is that I teach them how to eat for every season of their life. Because the reality is, you guys are over 40. So yeah, you might hurt yourself. You might need to have surgery. There might be a period of time where you aren't able to move around. You can still lose weight. You can still maintain your weight, even if you can't do exercise. So you have to understand that this myth that the only way to lose weight is to hit the gym every day is just not true. And the reality is that everybody can't hit the gym every day. You might get hurt. Even if you like going to the gym, you might just really not want to go to the gym. So Jason, he really learned how to eat the right way. He reduced his insulin resistance. And I remember in this interview I did with him, he said, the best thing and the thing that he was most surprised about was that he was able to do this without counting calories once. So you don't have to count calories. You don't have to reduce your calories. Most of the time when I'm working with people that need to eat more, Jason needed to eat a lot more than he was eating so that his weight would start dropping, because he wasn't dealing with those four things we talked about a little bit earlier, which is muscle mass, hormones, metabolism, and inflammation. He wasn't eating enough, so he was causing inflammation in his body because he was stressing his body out. So there are all these things that you have to think about when you lose weight. It's not as simple as just eating less and exercising more. Because for someone like Jason, who was just doing that, he was eating clean as well, he wasn't eating a bunch of junk food, he still couldn't lose the weight. So you really have to learn about your body, and you need to learn how to eat right to get the scale moving sometime. So you might be asking yourself at this point, what is insulin resistance? Basically, insulin is like a key that opens your cells and lets blood sugar in so that your cells can use it for energy. And insulin resistance is when that key stops working. Okay. And you can consider this analogy. Your cells are my husband and I'm insulin. I talk about nutrition way too much, and my husband has basically stopped listening to me. So your cells are sick and tired of all the insulin that keeps being pumped into your bloodstream, and they've stopped reacting to it. So when you're eating a high carbohydrate diet, or when you're just not eating in the right way, sometimes your blood sugar can just get really high. Your body pumps out tons of insulin, and then eventually your cells just don't want to hear it anymore, and they stop listening. Okay, so your cells become resistant to insulin. That blood sugar has to go somewhere. Your body stores it as fat. Insulin takes it and stores it as fat. And that's why your weight is stuck. Okay, it's one of the hormonal reasons. The only way to fix insulin resistance is to learn how to eat right for your body. You need to learn how to eat right, because you can be eating healthy foods and you can still be promoting insulin resistance. Okay. Even healthy foods can spike your insulin. So you need to learn how to eat right. There's no amount of exercise, no amount of dieting, skipping meals, fasting, or eating healthy food that will get rid of your belly fat if you do not know how to eat right. Okay. There just isn't. So I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my other clients. This is Dave. I've been working with Dave for I guess it's been over a year now. He's 62 years old. When he started with me, he was a little bit over 400 pounds. He had lost weight on diets, significant amounts of weight, 60, 70 pounds, but he always gained it back. Okay. And when I met him, he was eating clean. He was only having 2 meals a day. He was skipping breakfast to keep his calories lower, and his weight was not moving. Okay. His weight wasn't moving anywhere. So there were a couple issues going on. His muscle mass was messed up from the dieting. His hormones were out of whack. His metabolism had slowed down because he wasn't eating enough. And he had some inflammation as well because his body was stressed. So the myth that you have to eat less to lose weight, you really have to understand that it is actually a myth, because for Dave, in his case, he only started to lose weight when we added in another full meal. So instead of eating 2 meals to keep his calories low, we added in another full meal, which had, 700 calories. And when we did that, when we upped his calories, when we gave his body enough food, the food that it needed to thrive, he started losing weight. Okay. And he's been consistently losing weight and maintaining that weight loss for over a year now. He's almost lost 100 pounds, and he's still losing, and he's readjusting as necessary. So sometimes there are always going to be plateaus, and I help him readjust. We figure out what's going on and we keep going. But just please understand that for most, I'm going to say probably 90 to 95% of guys I start working with, the issue is not that they're not eating, that they're not cutting calories enough. It's that they're not eating enough food. Okay. So, you have to deal with all those things keeping your weight stuck. And part of that is your metabolism. You need to eat enough so that your metabolism starts ramping up and it works at a high level if you want to start losing weight and keep it off. So to lose weight as a man in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you really need to do these things. You need to reverse insulin resistance. You need to maintain your muscle mass while you're losing weight. You need to balance your hormones, speed up your metabolism. And you do that by giving your body enough food, not less food. Okay. And you need to decrease inflammation. So you need to find hidden sources of inflammation in food and things that are bothering you specifically and get rid of them so your body can release the weight. Okay, and that's exactly what we do in my program. It's what I do with people when I work with them one on one as well. It's the four pillars of the Belly Fat Fix program. They're muscle mass, hormones, metabolism, and inflammation. And the only way that you can fix those four things to get your weight unstuck and to start losing weight consistently and keep it off are by making the right food choices. Okay. There is no medicine you can take that is going to do this for you. It can be done only by the food choices that you make. And that's what I teach my clients to do. I teach them how to make the proper food choices. So if you are interested in learning more about how I can help you do that inside of my program, working with me privately, or if you just want to get on a call and talk to me a little bit about what you think's going on, and I can help give you some understanding about how these things are affecting you personally, please just drop free Zoom in the comments. I will reach out to you. You know, we can get on a free Zoom call. We can talk about what's going on in your life and where you might be going wrong and how these things are keeping you stuck. So you understand what the next best steps are for you to move forward and actually get results. Okay. And the last thing we're going to talk about is really how to reset your metabolism so your body starts burning fat, not storing it. What you need to do first, before you get a gym membership, before you start exercising like a madman, you really need to focus on the right nutrition. You need to focus on proper meal timing and you need to focus on balancing your blood sugar. Okay, those are the things that are going to tell your body to burn fat instead of storing it. All right. And to balance your blood sugar and to do all those things, you really need to focus on this way of eating. You need to have these things at every meal: protein, fat, carbs, and fiber. You have to focus on that. The more you focus on that, the better off you're going to be and the better your results are going to be and the more sustainable. Okay. Timing is really, really important. Somebody asked me to address timing. When is the best time to eat? What should you eat and when? I really always encourage people to aim for 2 to 3 solid meals a day. For most people that I work with, 3 is better. It's hard, especially if you're a tall guy, if you're a big guy, to get the amount of nutrition that you need in 2 meals. And a lot of the time when I start working with people, they're fasting for long periods. They're fasting for 20 hours. They're fasting for 18 hours. They're only having 2 meals a day, eating in a 6-hour window, and they're not getting what they need. And a lot of the time, adding in a third meal, just like with Dave, whom you saw a few minutes ago, is how to get the scale moving. Okay, so timing is important, but it also is dependent on what your schedule and what your life and your activity level looks like. So it can be very individual. Timing is different for everybody. And also, it can be different for you on different days. You can't be too rigid in your timing. So if you feel like you're doing everything right and you're still not getting results, it's really not your fault. I want you to know that. You honestly just need the right plan that teaches you to eat in the right way. And when you do that, then the weight starts falling off. So again, if you want to book a free Zoom call with me, please just type free Zoom in the comments. I'll reach out to you. We can arrange that. Or if you'd rather just talk to me a little bit in Messenger so that I can help you just get some clarity on how those things that are keeping you stuck are really affecting your ability to lose weight, then I can do that. I'm also happy to ask you some questions so that I can get a better idea of what's going on with you and I can give you some next best steps. You don't have to work with me to get on that call. It's a free consult. But please take advantage of it. I can sort of help you understand why what you're doing is not working. Okay. And please understand that fat loss isn't just about calories. It's not about eating healthy. It's not just about exercise. It's really about eating right. And it's important to eat right. And when you eat right, it addresses the 4 things that are keeping you stuck, which are muscle mass, hormones, metabolism, and inflammation. So you need to learn how to eat right, make the right food choices so that you can address those 4 things. And that will really get your weight unstuck. It'll get your weight moving and it'll help you start getting results and keeping that weight off for good. Okay. So if any of this resonated with you, please take the time to reach out to me. Reach out to me in Messenger. All the information is here. You can comment on this video and I can reach out to you. But, I have email and, of course, a website. If you want to book a free consult, like I said, just put free Zoom or free consult in the comments. I'll reach out to you and we can figure out a time that works for both of us. And please understand that if you're doing everything right, you're extremely frustrated, you're just probably not dealing with those four things. You're probably just not making the right food choices. Maybe you're not getting enough food. Maybe you're eating things at the wrong time. Maybe you're also just putting a lot of undue stress on your body by working out too much while you're dieting. Okay. And remember these two examples that I gave you during this training session. Jason, who was really doing everything right, hitting the gym, busy all day at work, eating clean, not eating any junk food, and still not able to get that 25 pounds of fat to budge. So if he couldn't do it, doing all of those things right, please understand that, if you've started a new diet, you've reduced your calories, you're going for walks every day, and things are just not moving the way that you want them to, or you've plateaued, it's because one of those four things we talked about is just stuck. And sometimes it's good to get some expert help so you can figure out what those things are. For Jason, that was really, really important. I worked with him over 5 months. We met every week, and I really helped him figure out what was going on. When he hit a plateau, we changed things up. So now he knows exactly what he needs to eat. He knows if he hurts his knee or if he can't move around for 3 weeks, what he should eat, what he shouldn't eat, when he should eat it, how he should adjust. And the same goes for Dave. Dave was a different situation, but he still, he was quite heavy, but he was still doing everything right. He was doing what he was told. He was cutting his calories. He was only having 2 meals a day. He was trying to get as much exercise as he could, but it still was not working. And there are reasons for that. There are reasons why you can be doing everything right and your body's just not responding, and it has to do with your metabolism and your hormones and the inflammation in your body and your muscle mass. And sometimes you need to have a very specific direct approach that's created by somebody who knows what they're doing, so that your body responds, you can start getting consistent results, and you feel really, you feel good about it, and consistent results give you motivation to continue. Okay. And so if you need help with that, please reach out. As I said, I'm happy to help you figure out what's going on. And I would love to meet you and talk to you about your situation and your weight loss journey. So that's it for today. And I hope to hear from some of you soon.